Imagine standing at the base of the Great Pyramid of Giza, its massive stones towering above you, each one perfectly placed thousands of years ago. But here's the thing, what if this ancient wonder, and so many others like it, holds secrets we've yet to uncover? For centuries, these monuments have stood as testaments to human ingenuity, but beneath their grandeur lie mysteries that defy explanation. Hidden chambers, unexplained alignments with the stars, strange symbols carved in places no one was meant to see. These are just glimpses of the puzzles waiting to be solved. And the truth is, even the most studied structures on Earth might still be hiding something extraordinary. Today, we're setting off on a journey to explore 30 ancient monuments that might just hold the keys to forgotten knowledge. From the depths of hidden tunnels beneath temples to the cryptic messages left behind by civilizations long gone, each of these sites has a story that goes far beyond what meets the eye. Some of these secrets could rewrite history, while others might simply leave us in awe of how much we still don't know. What if the answers have been right in front of us all along, waiting for someone to look a little closer? This isn't just a tour of famous landmarks, it's an invitation to step into the unknown. Picture yourself walking through a forgotten passageway, your footsteps echoing against walls that haven't been touched in centuries. Imagine uncovering a clue that changes everything we thought we knew. That's the thrill of these ancient mysteries. They remind us that history isn't just a record of the past, it's a living, breathing puzzle full of surprises. So, are you ready to explore the secrets hidden in plain sight? Let's begin. The Great Pyramid of Giza has stood for over 4,500 years, yet it still holds mysteries that baffle even the sharpest minds. How did the ancient Egyptians achieve such staggering precision in its construction? Each massive stone block, some weighing as much as 80 tons, fits together so perfectly that you couldn't slide a piece of paper between them. And then there's the alignment. Its four sides point almost exactly toward the cardinal directions, with a margin of error so small it defies the technology of its time. But the real intrigue lies beneath the surface. Recent scans using advanced technology have revealed something startling: hollow spaces deep inside the pyramid, areas that were never mapped or explored. Some researchers believe these voids could be hidden chambers, possibly containing artifacts or records lost to history. Others suggest they might be structural quirks, part of the pyramid's ingenious design to distribute weight. Either way, the discovery raises more questions than answers. Then there's the celestial connection. The pyramid's air shafts align with specific stars in the night sky, particularly Orion's belt, which the ancient Egyptians associated with Osiris, the god of the afterlife. Was this just symbolic, or did it serve a deeper purpose? Some theorists propose these alignments might have been used for navigation, or even as part of a grand spiritual blueprint. And let's not forget the stories of secret passages. Legends speak of hidden tunnels leading to undiscovered chambers beneath the pyramid, possibly even connecting to the mythical Hall of Records, a fabled repository of ancient knowledge. Whether fact or fiction, the possibility alone keeps explorers and archaeologists searching for clues. For all we know, the Great Pyramid might still be guarding its greatest secrets. What if the answers have been hidden in plain sight all along, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves? Now let's shift our gaze from the sands of Egypt to the rolling green hills of England, where another ancient enigma stands frozen in time. Stonehenge, a ring of towering stones that has captivated humanity for thousands of years. Unlike the Great Pyramid, its purpose remains one of history's great unanswered questions. Was it a temple, a burial site, a celestial calendar, or something even more profound? The sheer scale of Stonehenge is staggering. Some of its largest stones, known as sarcens, weigh up to 30 tons each. Even more baffling, the smaller blue stones forming the inner circle were transported from over 150 miles away in Wales. How did Neolithic people move these massive slabs across rivers, valleys, and rugged terrain without wheels or metal tools? Experiments suggest they may have used sledges, rollers, or even floated them along waterways, but no one knows for sure. Then there's the precision of its design. The stones align perfectly with the summer and winter solstices. At dawn on the longest day of the year, sunlight pours directly through the entrance, illuminating the heart of the structure. This alignment isn't random. It points to a deep understanding of astronomy, possibly used to track seasons or mark sacred ceremonies. Some researchers believe Stonehenge was part of a much larger ritual landscape, connected to nearby burial mounds and ancient pathways. But the mysteries don't end there. Recent excavations have uncovered human remains, cremated bones, and remnants of feasts, hinting at funeral rites or communal gatherings. Others argue the site may have been a healing center, drawing pilgrims who believed the blue stones held magical properties. Perhaps the most tantalizing question of all is why go through such monumental effort? Was Stonehenge a bridge between earth and sky, a place to commune with gods, or something we've yet to imagine? Every answer leads to another layer of mystery, proving that even after centuries of study, this ancient marvel still holds its secrets close. Far from the rolling hills of Stonehenge, in the remote solitude of the Pacific Ocean, lies another ancient mystery carved in stone, the towering moai of Easter Island. These monolithic figures, some standing over 30 feet tall and weighing as much as 80 tons, gaze stoically across the island, their solemn faces hiding secrets of a lost civilization. How did the Rapa Nui people, with no metal tools or wheels, transport these colossal statues from the quarry where they were carved to their final positions along the coastline? And why did they go to such extraordinary lengths to create them in the first place? The most baffling puzzle is the journey these statues made. The moai were carved from volcanic rock at a single quarry called Rono Roroku, yet many were placed on stone platforms called Ahu miles away. Some theories suggest the islanders used a combination of ropes, wooden sledges, and sheer manpower to rock the statues upright in a walking motion, an idea supported by oral traditions that claim the moai walked to their resting places. Experiments with replica statues show this method could work, but it would have required precise coordination and tremendous effort. Others argue they were dragged horizontally on log rollers, though the island's sparse tree cover raises questions about where enough wood would have come from. Then there's the placement. Nearly all the moai face inland, their backs to the sea, as if standing guard over the island's people. Were they protective ancestors, symbols of power, or conduits to the spiritual world? Many have hollow eye sockets that once held coral and obsidian inserts, giving them an almost lifelike presence when completed. Some researchers believe this transformation from inert rock to seeing, watching figures was a sacred ritual, turning the statues into vessels for ancestral spirits. Yet the deeper mystery is what happened to this society. By the time European explorers arrived in the 18th century, many moai had been toppled, and the island's population was in decline. Did overuse of resources, internal conflict, or environmental disaster lead to their downfall? Or was there something more profound at play? The moai remain silent witnesses, their stories locked in stone, waiting for us to piece together the fragments of a civilization that once thrived in isolation. Perhaps the most haunting question isn't just how they did it, but why they stopped. What forced the Rapa Nui to abandon their monumental work, leaving so many moai unfinished in the quarry, as if frozen in time? Each statue is more than just a marvel of engineering. It's a testament to human ambition, faith, and ultimately, the fragile balance between a people and their environment. And that's a secret worth unraveling. High in the Andes Mountains, hidden among mist-covered peaks, lies Machu Picchu, the lost city of the Incas. This breathtaking citadel, built in the 15th century, was never discovered by Spanish conquistadors, leaving its stone walls and terraces untouched for centuries. But why was such a magnificent site abandoned so suddenly? And what secrets might still lie buried beneath its carefully carved steps and temples? One of the most enduring mysteries is Machu Picchu's purpose. Some archaeologists believe it was a royal estate for the Inca Emperor Pachacuti, a secluded retreat where he could escape the pressures of ruling an empire. The precision of its construction supports this theory. Every stone fits seamlessly, and the terraces were designed not just for agriculture but to stabilize the mountain itself. Others argue it was a sacred religious site aligned with celestial events. During the winter solstice, sunlight streams through specific windows in the Temple of the Sun, illuminating sacred spaces with uncanny precision. Could this have been a way to communicate with the gods or mark important ceremonial dates? Then there are the rumored tunnels. Locals speak of hidden passageways beneath Machu Picchu, some supposedly leading to undiscovered chambers or even connecting to other Inca sites miles away. Explorers have found a few narrow, man-made tunnels, but many remain sealed or unexplored. What might lie inside? Gold, ancient records, or even clues about why the Incas left so abruptly? The Spanish invasion certainly disrupted the empire, but Machu Picchu shows no signs of battle or destruction. Instead, it appears the inhabitants simply walked away. Some theories suggest disease or drought forced their departure, while others propose it was always meant to be temporary, a seasonal sanctuary rather than a permanent city. But perhaps the most intriguing possibility is that Machu Picchu served multiple roles at once. Its terraces could feed a population, its temples could host rituals, and its celestial alignments could guide agricultural and religious cycles. The Incas didn't separate science from spirituality, they wove them together. That duality might explain why, even today, Machu Picchu feels alive with energy. Standing among its ruins, you can almost hear whispers of the past, as if the stones themselves are waiting to share their untold stories. So was it a palace, a temple, or something else entirely? The truth may be all of the above, a testament to a civilization that saw no divide between heaven and earth, between kings and gods. And until those hidden tunnels are fully explored or new discoveries come to light, Machu Picchu will keep its deepest secrets tucked away in the clouds. Standing guard at the foot of the Great Pyramid, the Sphinx stares across the desert with an expression that's seen millennia pass. But how many millennia exactly? That's where the mystery deepens. Officially, archaeologists date this colossal limestone statue to around 4,500 years ago, linking it to Pharaoh Khafre of the 4th dynasty. But not everyone agrees. Some researchers point to the Sphinx's weathered body, covered in deep vertical grooves that resemble the effects of heavy rainfall. Here's the catch: the last time Egypt experienced that kind of sustained downpour was over 7,000 years ago, long before Khafre's reign. Could the Sphinx actually be far older than we've been led to believe? The debate doesn't end with erosion patterns. Look closely at the statue's head, disproportionately small compared to its massive body. This has fueled speculation that the Sphinx was originally carved with a different face, perhaps a lion's, and later reworked to resemble a pharaoh. If true, it would mean the monument was repurposed by later rulers, adding another layer to its enigmatic history. Then there's the question of hidden chambers. Ground-penetrating radar has detected anomalies beneath the Sphinx's pores, sparking rumors of a subterranean labyrinth. This ties directly into the legend of the Hall of Records, a fabled archive said to contain Atlantis-like knowledge left by a lost civilization. Edgar Cayce, the famed psychic, even predicted its discovery in the 20th century, though no such vault has ever been found. But why would ancient builders go to such lengths to conceal knowledge? Some theorists suggest the Sphinx isn't just a monument, it's a guardian, positioned deliberately to protect secrets buried beneath the sand. Its alignment with the pyramids and certain stars adds weight to this idea, hinting at a grand design that modern science is only beginning to decipher. Even the name Sphinx may hold clues, derived from the Greek word for strangler. It echoes myths of riddles and hidden truths, as if the statue itself is challenging us to uncover its origins. So is it a 4,000-year-old tribute to a pharaoh, or a 7,000-year-old relic of a forgotten culture? Perhaps the answer lies somewhere in between, waiting beneath the erosion lines or within those rumored chambers. Until then, the Sphinx keeps its secrets, watching silently as each new generation tries to solve the puzzle it's posed for ages. Teotihuacan rises from the valley floor like a city frozen in time, its grand pyramids and wide avenues whispering of a civilization that thrived then vanished without leaving a single written word behind. Who built this sprawling metropolis with its carefully planned grid stretching over 8 square miles? Why does it mirror celestial patterns with such precision? And most baffling of all, why did its creators disappear so completely that even their name is lost to history? The scale of Teotihuacan is staggering. The Pyramid of the Sun, one of the largest structures in the ancient world, towers over 200 feet high, constructed with millions of sun-baked bricks. Nearby, the Pyramid of the Moon and the Temple of the Feathered Serpent complete a sacred axis, aligning with the Pleiades star cluster and the movements of the sun. This wasn't just a random gathering of buildings, it was a meticulously designed cosmic map. The main boulevard, called the Avenue of the Dead, runs exactly 15.5 degrees east of true north, an alignment some researchers believe mirrors the path of the Milky Way. Was this a deliberate attempt to mirror heaven on earth, or did it serve a more practical purpose, like tracking agricultural cycles? But the real mystery lies in the people themselves. Unlike the Maya or Aztecs, the builders of Teotihuacan left no inscriptions, no royal tombs, no records of kings or conquests. Even the name Teotihuacan comes from the Aztecs, who arrived centuries later and dubbed it the place where the gods were created. Archaeologists have uncovered vibrant murals and intricate artifacts, yet none reveal the language or identity of the city's inhabitants. Some theories suggest it was a multi-ethnic hub, a melting pot where different cultures lived in harmony, united by shared rituals rather than a single ruler. Others point to evidence of sudden fires and mass destruction around the 6th century, hinting at rebellion, invasion, or even a dramatic shift in power. Perhaps the most haunting clue is the city's abrupt abandonment. By the time the Aztecs rediscovered it, Teotihuacan was already a ghost city, its halls empty, its temples silent. Were its people driven out by drought or famine? Did they simply walk away, leaving behind their towering achievements as a monument to something greater? Then there's the underground. Recent scans have revealed vast tunnels beneath the Temple of the Feathered Serpent, some filled with liquid mercury and offerings of jade and shells. These hidden passageways might have represented the underworld in the city's cosmic vision, but they also raise tantalizing questions. Could deeper chambers still await discovery, holding the missing pieces of Teotihuacan's story? For now, the city keeps its secrets, its true name and purpose buried beneath centuries of dust. But every stone, every mural, every alignment whispers the same irresistible question. What if we've only scratched the surface of what this place was meant to be? Nestled deep within Jordan's rugged desert cliffs, Petra emerges like a mirage, a city carved entirely from rose-red stone. While its iconic treasury facade steals the spotlight, the real marvel lies in what's hidden beneath the surface, an ingenious water management system that turned this arid landscape into a thriving metropolis. Imagine a network of channels, cisterns, and dams so advanced it could collect and distribute every precious drop of rainwater across the city, even during prolonged droughts. The Nabateans, Petra's builders, weren't just master stonemasons, they were hydraulic engineers ahead of their time. The scale of their achievement is staggering. They carved over 200 cisterns into the rock, some large enough to hold thousands of gallons, connected by a web of clay pipes and underground tunnels. Gravity did the rest, channeling water from distant springs into the heart of the city. One particularly ambitious aqueduct, known as the Sick Conduit, runs for nearly a mile through narrow canyon walls, delivering water directly to Petra's bustling center. This wasn't just survival, it was sophistication. While other desert settlements struggled, Petra's fountains flowed, its baths steamed, and its gardens flourished, a testament to a civilization that tamed the elements. But water isn't the only secret Petra might be hiding. Recent ground-penetrating surveys have revealed anomalies behind the famous treasury facade, hollow spaces that don't align with known chambers. Could there be undiscovered tombs or even entire rooms sealed for centuries? Local legends speak of a treasure chamber hidden somewhere within the cliffs, though no such room has ever been found. Archaeologists remain divided. Some argue these voids are natural fissures in the rock, while others point to subtle clues in Nabatean carvings that hint at concealed burial sites for elite families. Then there's the mystery of the city's decline. By the 7th century, Petra was largely abandoned, its water system falling silent. Earthquakes played a role, but so did shifting trade routes that left the Nabateans' once lucrative caravan networks obsolete. Yet whispers persist that the city's true endgame lies deeper. Literally, explorers have long speculated about a lower level of tunnels beneath the main ruins, possibly linking to undiscovered ceremonial spaces or even earlier settlements predating the Nabateans themselves. So was Petra merely a wealthy trading hub, or was it something more? The precision of its waterworks suggests a society deeply attuned to its environment, while the rumored hidden chambers imply layers of spiritual or political significance we've yet to unravel. Every carved staircase, every concealed cistern, every shadowy tunnel invites the same question: what else remains buried in the stone, waiting for the right moment or the right technology to reveal itself? For now, Petra keeps its secrets as it has for millennia, etched in rock and echoing through the silence of the desert. Rising from the Cambodian jungle like a mirage, Angkor Wat stretches across nearly 500 acres, its intricate towers reflecting in the surrounding moat as they have for almost 900 years. More than just a temple, it's a cosmic diagram in stone, designed to mirror the Hindu universe with its central towers representing Mount Meru, the mythical home of the gods. But the true magic lies in its walls, covered in over 1,200 square meters of carvings that tell stories of creation, war, and devotion. Scenes from the Ramayana and Mahabharata intertwine with depictions of celestial dancers and mythical creatures. Each chisel marks a testament to the Khmer Empire's artistic and spiritual vision. Yet among these elaborate narratives, one mystery stands out. Why does a temple originally dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu later feature Buddhist iconography so prominently? This shift hints at a deeper story, a kingdom's spiritual transformation, perhaps even a ruler's personal enlightenment. The empire that built Angkor Wat didn't just fade, it collapsed with startling speed. By the 15th century, this thriving metropolis, once home to over 1 million people, was all but abandoned to the jungle. For centuries, historians blamed invasions or environmental overexploitation, but recent discoveries have upended those theories. LiDAR technology, laser imaging that penetrates dense vegetation, has revealed something extraordinary. Angkor wasn't just a ceremonial center. Beneath the canopy lie the ghostly outlines of an urban sprawl far vaster than imagined, complete with grid-patterned streets, canals, and even suburban neighborhoods. This was a medieval New York, a hydraulic city engineered with precision. Its elaborate waterworks, including massive reservoirs called barrages, may hold the key to its downfall. Sediment cores suggest a series of catastrophic droughts followed by monsoons so intense they overwhelmed the system, turning Angkor's lifeblood into its ruin. Could climate disaster have toppled an empire? Then there are the secrets still buried. LiDAR scans show anomalies, mounds, and structures unexcavated, some aligned in patterns that suggest undiscovered temples or palaces. One tantalizing lead points to Mahendraparvata, an earlier capital hidden in the nearby Phnom Kulen Mountains, where lasers have exposed a network of roads and shrines swallowed by time. Archaeologists suspect this could rewrite the timeline of the Khmer Empire, pushing its origins further back than records indicate, but the greatest enigma remains Angkor Wat itself. Its Western orientation, unusual for Hindu temples, aligns perfectly with the spring equinox when the sun rises directly over its central tower. Was this intentional symbolism a nod to Vishnu's association with the setting sun and the afterlife, or does it hint at a purpose we've yet to decipher? The answers may lie in those hidden chambers rumored to exist beneath the temple, mentioned in ancient texts but never found. As the jungle slowly yields its secrets, one thing becomes clear: Angkor Wat was never meant to be just a monument. It was a living, breathing axis between earth and heaven, a mirror of cosmic order, and perhaps a warning. The same ingenuity that harnessed monsoons and built soaring towers couldn't outpace a changing world. In its silent stones, we see the echoes of human ambition, defiance, and ultimately, humility before forces even empires can't control. Perched on a barren hilltop in southeastern Turkey, Göbekli Tepe shatters everything we thought we knew about early human civilization. This sprawling complex of massive stone circles carved with intricate animal reliefs dates back an astonishing 11,600 years, predating Stonehenge by 6,000 years and the Great Pyramid by 7,000. That means it was built not by settled farmers with plows and villages, but by nomadic hunter-gatherers who supposedly lacked the organization for such grand projects. How did they quarry, transport, and erect 20-ton limestone pillars without metal tools or domesticated animals? And why would they bury their masterpiece underground just a few centuries after completing it? The sophistication of the site is staggering. Each T-shaped pillar stands up to 18 feet tall, many adorned with bas-reliefs of foxes, scorpions, and vultures so detailed they seem to leap from the stone. Some pillars are arranged in concentric circles, with two central monoliths facing each other like sentinels. Archaeologists believe these spaces weren't dwellings but ritual enclosures, possibly used for ceremonies or astronomical observations. The sheer manpower required suggests a level of social coordination previously thought impossible for prehistoric peoples. It rewrites the narrative of human progress instead of agriculture, leading to monumental architecture. Göbekli Tepe implies the reverse. Could the urge to worship have been the spark that first brought humans together in large groups, paving the way for villages and farming? Then there's the deliberate burial. Around 8000 BCE, someone meticulously filled in the entire site with thousands of tons of soil and rubble, preserving it like a time capsule. Was this an act of reverence, hiding sacred ground from invaders or decay? Or was it something darker, a rejection of the beliefs symbolized here? Some researchers point to climate change. As the region dried during the Younger Dryas period, the people who built Göbekli Tepe might have abandoned their gods along with their land. Others speculate the burial was part of a ritual death for the site, allowing it to be spiritually reborn elsewhere. But the most tantalizing question isn't just how or why, it's what else might lie undiscovered. Ground-penetrating radar has revealed at least 20 more buried circles nearby, some potentially older than those already excavated. Each untouched ring could hold clues to the origins of religion, art, and society itself. For now, Göbekli Tepe remains a puzzle wrapped in limestone, challenging our assumptions with every unearthed pillar. It forces us to ask, if hunter-gatherers could achieve this, what other chapters of human history have we gotten completely wrong? Deep in the heart of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, Chichen Itza's iconic pyramid, El Castillo, towers over the jungle with a precision that defies its ancient origins. But step closer, and you'll discover this isn't just a monument, it's a masterpiece of acoustics, astronomy, and hidden symbolism. Clap your hands at the base of the pyramid, and the sound ricochets off the steep stone steps, returning as a chilling echo that mimics the cry of the sacred Quetzal bird. This eerie effect wasn't accidental. The Maya engineered every angle and terrace to transform sound into something almost supernatural, an auditory illusion that must have stunned worshippers during ceremonies. Then there's the celestial choreography. Twice a year, during the spring and autumn equinoxes, the setting sun casts triangular shadows along the pyramid's northern staircase, creating the illusion of a serpent slithering down to earth. This shadow play aligns perfectly with the carved stone serpent heads at the base, bringing the feathered god Kukulkan to life in a spectacle of light and shadow. The precision required for this alignment reveals the Mayas' profound understanding of solar cycles. Their calendar was so accurate it deviated by just one day every 5,000 years. But was this just a dazzling display, or did it serve a deeper purpose? Some researchers believe these events marked critical agricultural dates, while others argue they symbolized the god's descent to commune with the living. Beneath El Castillo lies an even darker secret, a hidden cenote or sinkhole filled with water. Recent scans confirmed its existence, linking it to the sacred well of sacrifice located nearby. For the Maya, cenotes weren't just water sources, they were portals to the underworld known as Xibalba. Artifacts pulled from these depths, including gold, jade, and human bones, suggest rituals of offering to appease the gods. But the cenote under the pyramid adds a haunting twist. Could it have been a private sanctum for elite ceremonies, accessible only to priests? Or was it deliberately placed to amplify the pyramid's acoustic properties, turning the entire structure into a resonating chamber for chants and prayers? The mysteries multiply when you consider Chichen Itza's decline. By the time Spanish conquistadors arrived, the city was already abandoned, its grandeur reclaimed by the jungle. Was it drought, warfare, or a spiritual upheaval that caused its fall? The answer might lie in the very stones of El Castillo, waiting for the right clue to unlock its final secret. For now, the pyramid stands as a testament to a civilization that blurred the lines between science and sacred, leaving us to wonder, how much of their knowledge have we yet to uncover? Stretching across the arid plains of southern Peru, the Nazca lines form one of the most baffling artistic feats in human history. These enormous geoglyphs, some stretching over 1,000 feet, depict animals, plants, and geometric shapes so precise they can only be fully appreciated from the air. But here's the twist: they were created between 500 BCE and 500 CE, long before humans could fly. How did the Nazca culture, without aerial views or modern tools, design and execute such flawless patterns on this scale? The method itself is astonishingly simple yet ingenious. By removing the dark, sun-baked top layer of pebbles to expose the lighter soil beneath, the Nazca people crafted these designs to last centuries. The desert's dry climate and lack of wind ensured their preservation, but the real challenge was maintaining perfect proportions across vast distances. Researchers believe they used a combination of scaled-down models and a grid system, transferring smaller designs to the desert floor with ropes and stakes. Some lines run arrow-straight for miles, defying the natural curvature of the earth, a testament to their advanced understanding of geometry. But why go to such lengths? One compelling theory links the lines to water, the most precious resource in this parched landscape. Many geoglyphs align with underground aquifers, and certain shapes, like the hummingbird or the spider, are tied to creatures symbolizing rain in Nazca mythology. During rare seasonal fogs, moisture would condense along the lines, creating temporary rivers that nourished the soil. Were these massive drawings part of a grand ritual to summon water from the gods? Another possibility ties them to the stars. Certain lines point to celestial events like solstices or the rising of key constellations, suggesting they might have served as a giant astronomical calendar. The famous astronaut glyph, with its wide-eyed figure seeming to float midair, has even fueled speculation about ancient encounters with otherworldly beings, though most scholars dismiss this as modern myth-making. Then there's the mystery of perspective. If the Nazca couldn't see their creations from above, who were these designs for? Some argue they were meant for deities viewing from the heavens, while others propose they were walked as pilgrimage paths, their full forms revealed only in the mind's eye during trance-like rituals. Perhaps the most haunting question isn't how or why they were made, but what happened to the people who created them. By the time the Spanish arrived, the Nazca culture had vanished, leaving behind no written records, only these cryptic lines etched into the earth. Were they prayers, warnings, or something else entirely? For now, the desert keeps its secrets, and the lines remain a silent testament to a civilization that turned the ground beneath their feet into a canvas for the cosmos. Perched atop Athens' Acropolis, the Parthenon gleams white against the blue Mediterranean sky, a symbol of democracy, art, and the heights of ancient Greek civilization. But beneath its classical beauty lies a web of hidden symmetries so precise they defy simple explanation. Every seemingly straight line in this temple is actually a subtle curve. The columns tilt inward slightly, the floor bows upward, and even the steps are slightly convex. These intentional imperfections, known as intosses, create an optical illusion of perfect straightness when viewed from a distance. Why go to such lengths? The architects understood something modern engineers confirm. The human eye perceives slight curves as truer than rigid lines. The result is a building that feels alive, vibrating with a harmony no ruler could measure. Then there's the mystery of the missing marbles. Nearly half the Parthenon's sculpted friezes depicting gods, heroes, and mythical battles were removed in the early 19th century by Lord Elgin and later sold to the British Museum, where they remain today. Greece has long demanded their return, but the controversy obscures a deeper question. What secrets might these sculptures still hold? Some fragments depict constellations with startling accuracy, while others show celestial events like eclipses. Were they merely decorative, or did they encode astronomical knowledge passed down from earlier civilizations? One theory suggests the east pediment scene of Athena's birth aligns with the dawn of a specific solar event, turning the temple into a cosmic clock. But the most tantalizing possibility is that the Parthenon itself was a giant astronomical instrument. Its proportions align with the golden ratio, a mathematical constant found in nature's spirals and star systems. The temple's orientation captures the sunrise on Athena's feast day, illuminating the statue of the goddess that once stood inside. Even the spacing of its columns may have marked solstices or lunar cycles. Recent studies reveal that on certain dates, shadows cast by the columns create precise geometric patterns on the floor, patterns that mirror ancient star charts. Could the Parthenon have been both a temple and an observatory, its very stones whispering secrets of the heavens? The building's resilience adds another layer to the puzzle. Despite earthquakes, wars, and even an explosion in 1687 that shattered its center, the Parthenon's core structure endures. Some argue its hidden curves act as a natural shock absorber, a feat of engineering millennia ahead of its time. Others see divine protection in its survival. Whatever the truth, this marble marvel reminds us that the ancients didn't just build monuments. They encrypted their wisdom in stone, waiting for future generations to decode it. And the Parthenon's greatest secret might still be hidden in plain sight, not just a temple to Athena, but a bridge between earth and sky. Beneath the towering arches of Rome's Colosseum lies a hidden world, a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers known as the Hypogeum. This underground network was the beating heart of the arena's spectacles, where gladiators, animals, and stagehands waited in the shadows before their dramatic entrances. But the Hypogeum wasn't just a backstage area. It was a feat of engineering designed to dazzle and deceive. Trapdoors hidden beneath the sand-covered floor could spring open without warning, releasing lions, bears, or even full-grown elephants into the arena. Pulleys and elevators hoisted fighters and scenery into view, creating illusions of mythical battles or sudden apparitions. The audience had no idea what might emerge next, and that was the point. Every moment was orchestrated for maximum suspense. Then there's the secret of the Colosseum's most jaw-dropping spectacles, the mock naval battles. Ancient texts describe how the arena could be flooded to stage these naumatia, with tiny warships manned by thousands of prisoners reenacting historic sea fights. For years, historians debated whether this was even possible, but recent discoveries confirm it. The hypogeum's drainage system, still partially intact, reveals channels that could redirect water from nearby aqueducts, filling the arena basin in hours. Imagine the roar of the crowd as ships clashed in the shadow of the Colosseum's walls, the water tinted red with the drama of battle, but the underground holds darker secrets too. Archaeologists have found graffiti scratched into the walls by gladiators' names, prayers, even tallies of victories. Some chambers bear the marks of cages where exotic animals like rhinos or crocodiles were kept before their fatal appearances. The hypogeum wasn't just a machine for entertainment, it was a place of tension, terror, and last-minute pleas to the gods. Perhaps most haunting is the evidence of last-minute changes. Remains of makeshift barricades suggest that sometimes the underground itself became part of the spectacle. If a gladiator refused to fight or a beast proved too unruly, the hypogeum's maze-like corridors might turn into a deadly chase. Today, walking through these tunnels, you can almost hear the echoes of footsteps and the creak of machinery, the unseen labor that made the Colosseum's magic possible. It's a reminder that Rome's greatest arena wasn't just about what happened in the light, but the carefully crafted chaos lurking just beneath the sand. Buried beneath the earth in China's Shaanxi province, the terracotta army stands frozen in time, a silent legion of over 8,000 soldiers, each with a face so unique they seem to have been modeled from real individuals. Discovered by farmers in 1974, this staggering funerary guard was crafted to protect China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, in the afterlife. But the real mystery lies in what hasn't been uncovered: the emperor's tomb itself, sealed and untouched for over 2,000 years. Ancient texts describe a subterranean palace filled with treasures, its ceiling studded with pearls to mimic the stars, and rivers of liquid mercury flowing through mountains of bronze. Modern tests confirm unusually high mercury levels in the soil above the tomb, suggesting those legends might hold more truth than myth. What's most astonishing about the terracotta army isn't just its scale, it's the startling individuality of every figure. No two soldiers share the same face. Each has distinct features, hairstyles, even expressions, from youthful determination to battle-weary resolve. Some clasp real bronze weapons, still sharp enough to draw blood today. Archaeologists believe these weren't mass-produced but modeled after actual members of the emperor's army, immortalized in clay. The craftsmen even signed their work, leaving tiny stamps on the figures, a quality control system from 200 years before the Common Era. Yet for all we've uncovered, the heart of the complex remains locked. The tomb's central chamber, rumored to be booby-trapped with crossbows and hidden pitfalls, has never been opened, partly out of respect for the dead, but also due to fears of damaging what lies inside. Ancient chronicles warn of automatic arrows and a mercury-fueled 100 rivers and the sea, designed to deter grave robbers. Scientists debate whether these accounts are symbolic or literal, but one thing's certain: the tomb's isolation has preserved its secrets like a time capsule. The mercury rivers add another layer of intrigue. Qin Shi Huang was obsessed with immortality, consuming mercury-laced elixirs that likely contributed to his death. Yet he may have also harnessed the toxic metal's reflective properties to create an eternal underground universe, its shimmering surface mimicking flowing water under an artificial sky. If the tomb is ever opened, it could rewrite our understanding of ancient engineering and the depths of one emperor's ambition to conquer even death itself. For now, the terracotta army keeps its vigil, its unanswered questions as vivid as the paint that once adorned each warrior's face. What treasures or terrors lie just beyond those unexcavated walls? The world may never know unless we dare to lift the veil on history's most guarded secret. Buried in the dusty plains of modern-day Pakistan, Mohenjo-daro stands as a testament to one of history's most enigmatic civilizations, the Indus Valley people. This ancient city, built over 4,000 years ago, boasted an urban sophistication that rivals modern metropolises. Wide, grid-patterned streets, advanced drainage systems, and uniform brickwork suggest a society obsessed with order and efficiency. But what's truly baffling isn't just how they built it, it's why such a thriving metropolis was suddenly abandoned, leaving behind silent streets and unanswered questions. The precision of Mohenjo-daro's design is staggering. Homes featured indoor plumbing with terracotta pipes funneling wastewater into covered sewers that ran beneath the streets, a luxury even some modern cities struggle to maintain. Public wells provided clean water, while massive granaries hint at a centralized system for food distribution. The entire layout reflects meticulous planning, almost as if the city was designed by a single visionary mind. Yet, despite this brilliance, archaeologists have found no evidence of palaces, temples, or even clear symbols of rulership. Was this a truly egalitarian society, or have we simply failed to decode their power structures? Then there's the mystery of their disappearance. By 1900 BCE, Mohenjo-daro was deserted, its streets empty, its wells dry. No signs of invasion or mass graves point to warfare or epidemic. Instead, the city feels frozen, as if its inhabitants simply walked away. Some theories point to climate change. Shifting river patterns may have disrupted agriculture, forcing migration. Others suggest the mighty Indus River, their lifeblood, suddenly changed course, leaving the city stranded. But one controversial hypothesis veers into the realm of science fiction: ancient nuclear warfare. In the 1920s, archaeologists uncovered skeletons scattered in streets and homes, some clutching hands as if struck by sudden catastrophe. A few even showed signs of extreme heat exposure, combined with unusually high levels of radioactivity found in the area. Fringe theorists speculate about an ancient technological disaster or even an otherworldly attack. Mainstream scholars dismiss this, attributing the skeletal poses to floods or sedimentation. Yet the absence of clear answers keeps the debate alive. Perhaps the most haunting clue lies in the city's silence. The Indus script found on countless seals and pottery remains undeciphered. Without a Rosetta Stone to unlock their language, we're left guessing at their daily lives, beliefs, and ultimate fate. Were they wiped out by forces beyond their control, or did they simply evolve into new cultures, leaving Mohenjo-daro as a ghostly monument to their ingenuity? For now, the city keeps its secrets, its empty streets whispering of a civilization that mastered urban living only to vanish without a trace. Rising from the savannah in southern Africa, the stone ruins of Great Zimbabwe stand as a silent witness to a forgotten empire. This sprawling complex of towering granite walls and conical towers was once the heart of a kingdom so wealthy, its gold trade stretched as far as China and the Middle East. But who built this marvel, and why did such a powerful civilization vanish into the mists of time? The scale of Great Zimbabwe is staggering. Its most iconic structure, the Great Enclosure, features walls 30 feet high and 17 feet thick, built entirely without mortar. The precision of the stonework rivals the finest medieval castles in Europe, yet it was constructed centuries earlier by techniques still not fully understood. Inside, artifacts tell a tale of immense riches: gold jewelry, intricate pottery, and glass beads from distant lands. Archaeologists estimate that at its peak, this city controlled nearly 80% of the world's gold trade, with mines stretching across the region. But the identity of its builders has been hotly debated. European colonizers once insisted Africans couldn't have created such splendor. attributing it to mythical outsiders like the Queen of Sheba. We now know the truth. Great Zimbabwe was the work of the Shona people, part of a sophisticated network of Bantu kingdoms. Their goldsmiths crafted delicate filigree work, while their traders bartered with merchants from the Swahili coast. The city's very name comes from the Shona phrase Dizimba Dizie Mabwe, meaning houses of stone, a nod to their enduring legacy. So why was it abandoned? Climate data reveals a grim clue. Around the 15th century, a prolonged drought parched the land, making farming nearly impossible. Without food to sustain its population, the city's power crumbled. But there's another layer to the story. Some scholars believe internal strife or shifting trade routes may have played a role, as Portuguese explorers began bypassing Zimbabwe's gold markets for coastal ports. Then there are the whispers of curses. Local legends speak of a sacred object, the Ngoma Lungundu, a drum said to hold the soul of the nation. When it disappeared, so too did the kingdom's fortune. Whether myth or metaphor, one thing is clear. Great Zimbabwe's story isn't just about stone and gold. It's about the rise and fall of a civilization that once shaped the world, only to fade into the very walls it left behind. What other secrets might still lie buried beneath those silent ruins? Only time and the patient work of archaeologists will tell. The Temple of Karnak sprawls across the Nile's east bank like a stone encyclopedia of ancient secrets, a labyrinth of towering columns, hidden chambers, and inscriptions that whisper of pharaohs who shaped its grandeur over 2,000 years. Unlike other temples built by a single ruler, Karnak grew layer by layer, each dynasty adding its own chapter to this monumental story. But beneath its awe-inspiring halls lies a puzzle that still stumps historians. How did the ancient Egyptians align this vast complex so precisely with the Nile's annual floods, turning the temple into a living barometer of the river's life-giving cycles? Step into the Great Hypostyle Hall, where 134 colossal pillars rise like a petrified forest, their surfaces carved with scenes of gods and kings. These columns aren't just decorative, they're celestial markers. During the summer solstice, sunlight pierces the hall at a precise angle, illuminating hidden reliefs of the god Amun-Ra, as if the sun itself were blessing the temple. This alignment wasn't accidental. The entire complex mirrors the Nile's path, its central axis pointing directly to the river's floodplain. When the waters rose, they would reflect the temple's image, creating a shimmering illusion that united earth and sky. Some researchers believe this was intentional, a way to harness the Nile's power symbolically, turning Karnak into a bridge between the divine and the mortal world. Then there are the sealed chambers, deep within the temple's inner sanctum, behind walls covered in cryptographic hieroglyphs, lie rooms that even modern archaeologists haven't fully explored. One, nicknamed the Gold Room, is rumored to hold ritual objects used in ceremonies for the mysterious Opet festival, when statues of the gods were paraded from Karnak to Luxor. But the real enigma is the temple's construction timeline. How did workers quarry, transport, and erect blocks weighing hundreds of tons, some fitted so tightly you can't slip a hair between them without the technology we'd expect? Recent scans reveal hidden ramps and lever systems within the walls, suggesting the builders left their own blueprint in the stone. Perhaps most intriguing is the evidence of astronomical precision. The temple's sacred lake, a vast rectangular pool, aligns with the star Sirius, whose heliacal rising signaled the Nile's flood. Priests may have used its reflections to predict the inundation, blending science and spirituality in a way that feels almost modern. Karnak wasn't just a place of worship, it was a cosmic clock, a hydrological tool, and a political statement, all etched in stone. And yet, despite centuries of study, the temple guards its deepest secrets. Why do some walls bear chisel marks that suggest deliberate defacing, as if someone tried to erase history? What lies beneath the lake's murky waters, where legends say sacred barges once floated? Every corridor, every inscription, every shadow in Karnak holds a piece of the puzzle, waiting for the right moment to reveal its truth. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon have captivated imaginations for centuries, described as a lush paradise of terraced greenery rising above the desert sands, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Yet here's the twist: no physical trace of them has ever been found in Babylon itself. Did they truly exist, or are they an ancient myth amplified by generations of storytellers? The debate hinges on a single ancient source, the writings of Greek historians like Strabo and Diodorus Siculus, who described the gardens in vivid detail centuries after they supposedly flourished. They claimed the gardens were built by King Nebuchadnezzar II around 600 BCE as a gift to his homesick wife, who missed the mountain forests of her homeland. But Babylonian records from Nebuchadnezzar's reign make no mention of such a project. So where does that leave us? Some archaeologists propose the gardens weren't in Babylon at all, but in Nineveh, the Assyrian capital 300 miles north. Excavations there revealed an elaborate system of aqueducts and canals built by King Sennacherib around 700 BCE, complete with inscriptions boasting of a palace without rival and a wonder for all peoples. One passage even describes a garden lifted high on columns, watered by complex machinery. Could this have been misattributed to Babylon over time? The theory gains weight from the fact that Nineveh's ruins align more closely with the Greek descriptions. Its advanced hydraulics could have sustained towering greenery, while Babylon's arid landscape makes such a feat seem improbable. Then there's the engineering puzzle. How could an ancient civilization keep a massive garden alive in a desert? The most plausible explanation involves Archimedes' screw spiral pumps that lift water from the Euphrates River to the highest terraces. But even more ingenious is the possibility of a hidden irrigation network. Some researchers suggest the gardens may have used a system of clay pipes and porous pots embedded in the soil, allowing water to seep slowly to the roots without evaporation. This chain pump method, depicted in Assyrian reliefs, could have circulated water continuously, turning the gardens into a self-sustaining oasis. Yet the lack of physical evidence keeps the mystery alive. If the gardens did exist in Babylon, why has no excavation uncovered their foundations? Perhaps they were destroyed completely by earthquakes or erosion. Or maybe they were never as grandiose as the legends suggest, a modest royal garden exaggerated over centuries into a wonder. The Hanging Gardens live on in the space between history and myth, a testament to humanity's longing for the impossible. Whether real or imagined, they remind us that even in the harshest landscapes, the dream of a verdant paradise endures, and that in itself is a kind of magic. Beneath the rocky landscape of Cappadocia in Turkey lies a hidden world so vast it could shelter 20,000 people there in Kuyu, an underground city carved deep into volcanic rock. This sprawling labyrinth descends over 250 feet, with 18 levels of tunnels, chapels, stables, and even wineries, all concealed beneath the earth. But why would an entire civilization choose to live in darkness, and how did they survive for months at a time without surfacing? The answer lies in a history of relentless invasions and ingenious adaptation. Derin Kuyu wasn't just a refuge, it was a masterpiece of survival engineering. Massive stone doors, each weighing up to half a ton, could be rolled shut to seal off entire sections from invaders. Vertical ventilation shafts, some stretching over 150 feet upward, provided fresh air while disguising the city's presence from the surface. Ingenious channels diverted underground rivers to wells, ensuring a steady water supply, while strategically placed oil lamps illuminated the tunnels without depleting oxygen. Even livestock were brought underground, with carved troughs and stables proving this was no temporary hideout but a fully functional subterranean society. The city's origins are shrouded in mystery. Some archaeologists trace it to the Hittites around 3,500 years ago, while others credit early Christians fleeing Roman persecution in the first centuries of the Common Era. What's certain is that Derinkuyu thrived during times of crisis. Its maze-like design included dead-end corridors to trap invaders, while narrow passageways forced attackers to advance single file, making them easy targets for defenders. Every twist and turn was a calculated defense, turning the earth itself into a fortress. But perhaps the most haunting question isn't how they built it, it's what life was like for those who called it home. Families slept in small rock-cut chambers, their walls blackened by centuries of lamp smoke. Communal kitchens and churches suggest a tightly knit community, united by necessity. Hidden ventilation shafts doubled as communication tubes, allowing whispers to travel between levels, a network of muffled warnings and coded messages. Derinkuyu's deepest secret, it's just one node in a vast underground network. Tunnels stretch for miles, connecting to other subterranean cities like Kamakli, hinting at a regional defense system spanning the entire Cappadocian landscape. Who coordinated such an effort, and what threats justified such extreme measures? The answers might still lie buried, waiting in the silent darkness of these ancient halls. For now, Derinkuyu stands as a testament to human resilience, proof that even in the face of annihilation, we'll carve out a way to endure. Hidden among the volcanic peaks of central Java, Borobudur rises like a stone mountain carved into intricate terraces, a Buddhist masterpiece abandoned for centuries, its secrets slowly coming to light. This massive stupa, built in the 9th century, consists of 9 stacked platforms adorned with over 2,600 relief panels and 500 Buddha statues, forming the world's largest Buddhist monument. But look closer and you'll notice something astonishing. Many of these carvings depict scenes with no known parallels in Buddhist texts. Some show fantastical creatures, unfamiliar rituals, or even what appear to be celestial maps. Could these be lost teachings, or do they hint at a spiritual tradition that diverged from mainstream Buddhism? The sheer volume of hidden narratives is staggering. One panel shows a ship filled with figures resembling foreign traders, their features distinctly different from the Javanese style found elsewhere. Another depicts a strange ritual involving masked dancers and a towering flame, a ceremony unrecorded in any surviving scriptures. Scholars speculate that Borobudur might have served as a visual encyclopedia, preserving oral traditions or esoteric knowledge that was never written down. The upper terraces, lined with bell-shaped stupas, each house a perforated stone dome concealing a Buddha statue inside, visible only through the diamond-shaped openings. This design creates a mesmerizing effect. As sunlight shifts throughout the day, the statues appear and disappear like fleeting visions, suggesting a deeper metaphor for enlightenment itself. Then there's the puzzle of Borobudur's abandonment. By the 10th century, this sacred site was slowly swallowed by jungle and volcanic ash, its existence fading into local legend. Why would such a monumental project be left behind? Some historians point to the decline of the Sailendra dynasty, the rulers who commissioned it, possibly due to political upheaval or shifting trade routes. Others suggest a cataclysmic eruption of nearby Mount Marapi forced the population to flee, burying Borobudur under layers of ash. But perhaps the most intriguing theory involves religion itself. As Hindu influence grew in Java, Buddhist sites like Borobudur may have lost patronage, their once bustling pilgrim trails falling silent. Yet the site's spiritual purpose lingers in its design. Pilgrims winding their way up Borobudur's concentric walkways follow a symbolic journey from the earthly realm to enlightenment, mirroring the Buddhist path from suffering to nirvana. The hidden reliefs act as a guide, each panel a step toward understanding. Modern visitors still report an uncanny sense of serenity here, as if the stones themselves hold the whispered prayers of centuries. Was Borobudur more than a temple? Was it a living map of the cosmos, a tool for transformation, or something we've yet to comprehend? the answer might lie beneath the monument. Ground-penetrating radar has revealed anomalous voids near the base, possibly uncharted chambers. Local legends speak of a sealed crypt containing relics of the Buddha, though no such vault has been found. Until then, Borobudur keeps its secrets locked in stone, a silent teacher waiting for the right moment to reveal its final lesson. The Luxor temple glows under the Egyptian sun like a gateway frozen in time, its massive columns and towering statues whispering of pharaohs who once walked its halls. But this isn't just another monument to the gods, it's a celestial blueprint, a temple aligned with the stars in ways that still baffle historians. Every inch of its design seems intentional, from the precise angle of its entrance to the hidden meanings etched into its walls. And beneath those walls, some believe, lies a secret network of chambers waiting to be uncovered. Start with the stars. The temple's main axis points directly toward the ancient city of Karnak, 2.5 miles to the north, connected by an avenue of sphinxes. But there's more to this alignment than meets the eye. During the summer solstice, the sun sets in perfect alignment with this sacred pathway, casting long shadows that seem to pull the two temples together. Some researchers argue this wasn't just symbolic. It may have been a way to harness celestial energy during rituals. Even more intriguing are the carvings that adorn the walls, depicting not just gods and kings but entire constellations. One relief shows the god Amun-Ra standing atop a staircase of stars, a possible reference to the Milky Way, while another portrays the pharaoh as the living embodiment of Orion, linking earthly power to the cosmos. Then there's the temple's hidden geometry. The inner sanctum, where the statue of Ammon was kept, sits at a precise angle that mirrors the rising of Sirius, the star tied to the Nile's life-giving floods. Was this a way to predict the inundation, or did it serve a deeper spiritual purpose? The walls themselves hold clues, hieroglyphs describing rituals where priests opened the gates of heaven, possibly aligning temple ceremonies with astronomical events. But the real mystery lurks underground. Ground-penetrating radar has revealed anomalies beneath the temple's foundation's voids that could be natural fissures or man-made chambers. One theory suggests these might connect to a larger network of tunnels beneath Luxor, possibly used for secret rites or to store sacred artifacts. Ancient texts mention a house of gold beneath the temple, a hidden workshop where statues of the gods were crafted and consecrated. Could this legendary space still exist, untouched for millennia? The temple's sheer endurance adds another layer to the puzzle. Unlike many ancient sites, Luxor was never fully abandoned. It transformed over centuries, occupied by Romans, Coptic Christians, and even early Muslims, each adding their own marks while preserving its core. A mosque still stands atop one of its corners, a testament to its unbroken significance. Somehow, through all the layers of history, the temple's original purpose still shines through, not just as a place of worship, but as a bridge between earth and sky. What secrets remain locked in its stones? Perhaps the answer lies in the subtle interplay of light and shadow during the solstice, or in those uncharted spaces beneath the floor. For now, Luxor keeps its final mysteries close, a silent guardian of the past waiting for the right moment to reveal the truth. Deep in the dense jungles of Guatemala, the pyramids of Tikal pierce the canopy like stone sentinels, remnants of a Maya metropolis that once thrived with over 100,000 inhabitants. But among the towering temples and grand plazas, one of the most baffling mysteries isn't just what meets the eye, it's what meets the ear. Visitors and researchers have long reported strange acoustic phenomena here, where even a whisper at the base of Temple 1 can be heard clearly atop Temple 2, over 500 feet away. This isn't just an echo. It's a meticulously engineered acoustic effect, suggesting the Maya designed their sacred spaces to amplify sound in ways that still aren't fully understood. Some believe these sonic properties were used in ceremonies, allowing priests to project chants or drumbeats across the entire city without shouting. Others speculate the temples functioned as giant resonators, channeling vibrations for ritualistic purposes or even astronomical observations. The precision required to achieve this without modern tools hints at a sophistication we're only beginning to appreciate. Yet for all its grandeur, Tikal's collapse was as dramatic as its rise. By the 10th century, this bustling city was abandoned, its palaces empty, its temples silent. Theories about its downfall have swirled for decades, but recent discoveries point to an unsettling culprit: deforestation. Soil samples reveal that as Tikal's population grew, the surrounding forests were stripped to fuel construction and agriculture, triggering a cascade of environmental disasters. Without tree roots to anchor the soil, erosion clogged vital reservoirs while the loss of canopy cover worsened droughts. Pollen records show a sharp decline in maize production. Starvation may have followed. The very ingenuity that built Tikal's pyramids might have sown the seeds of its demise, a cautionary tale of resource mismanagement with eerie echoes in our own time. But the story doesn't end there. LiDAR scans have uncovered something startling beneath the jungle floor: a vast network of terraces, canals, and even hidden pyramids, suggesting Tikal was far larger and more interconnected than previously thought. Some of these structures align with celestial events, while others appear to be defensive, hinting at conflicts that may have accelerated the city's fall. The most haunting question isn't just why Tikal collapsed, but how its people could vanish so completely, leaving behind only whispers in the stone and echoes in the air. Walk through Tikal today, and you'll feel it: the weight of history, the lingering presence of a civilization that mastered sound, stars, and stone, yet couldn't outrun the consequences of its own ambition. The pyramids stand as silent witnesses, their secrets buried not just in the earth, but in the very vibrations they were designed to carry. What other lessons might they still hold if we're willing to listen? Deep within the dense jungles of Chiapas, Mexico, the tomb of Pakal the Great lies hidden beneath the Temple of the Inscriptions at Palenque, a burial chamber that has sparked debates, wild theories, and awe for decades. When archaeologists first uncovered this sarcophagus in 1952, they found more than just the remains of the 7th century Maya ruler. They discovered an intricately carved lid depicting Pakal in what some claim resembles a spaceship, his body reclined as if piloting a celestial vessel. The image, surrounded by twisting vines and cosmic symbols, became fuel for ancient astronaut theories. But the truth behind these carvings is even more fascinating. The so-called spaceship is actually a rich symbolic representation of the Maya cosmos. Pakal descends along the world tree, a central axis connecting the underworld, earth, and heavens. Flames and serpents frame his body, representing his journey through Xibalba, the realm of the dead, toward rebirth as a divine being. The controls he appears to manipulate are likely celestial markers, tracing the path of Venus, a planet deeply tied to Maya mythology. The entire scene is a meticulously coded map of the afterlife, blending astronomy, religion, and royal legacy into stone. Yet the tomb's mysteries don't end with its carvings. The hieroglyphs lining the chamber walls tell Pakal's story in exquisite detail, from his ascension to the throne at age 12 to his triumphs in battle and diplomacy. But one passage stands out: a prophecy warning of a future great darkness tied to the god Balon Yacht, a deity associated with war and upheaval. Some scholars interpret this as a veiled reference to Palenque's eventual collapse, while others see it as a spiritual allegory. The ambiguity leaves room for speculation. Did Pakal's priests foresee their city's downfall centuries before it happened? The sarcophagus itself holds another enigma. Chemical analysis of the red pigment covering Pakal's remains revealed traces of rare minerals not native to the region, suggesting trade networks far more extensive than previously believed. Even more puzzling is the tomb's construction. The massive stone slab sealing the chamber weighs nearly 5 tons, yet it was lowered into place with such precision that the fit is nearly airtight. How the Maya achieved this without pulleys or metal tools remains an engineering puzzle. Then there's the temple's hidden acoustics. The stairway leading down to the tomb, once sealed with rubble, produces eerie echoes when struck, as if the structure itself was designed to speak during rituals. Recent scans even hint at undiscovered voids beneath the chamber. Could there be another layer to Pakal's legacy still waiting to be found? Far from a simple burial, Pakal's tomb is a time capsule of Maya brilliance, blending science, art, and spirituality into a single masterpiece. Whether it's the celestial symbolism of the lid, the cryptic warnings in the glyphs, or the unanswered questions beneath the stones, one thing is clear. The deeper we dig, the more Palenque reveals just how much we still have to learn. Carved into the sheer basalt cliffs of Maharashtra, India, the Ellora Caves are a staggering feat of patience and precision. 34 temples, monasteries, and chapels chiseled directly into the rock face over 5 centuries. But what makes these caves truly extraordinary isn't just their scale, it's the fact that they were carved from the top down. Imagine sculptors dangling from ropes, working their way downward, removing thousands of tons of stone with nothing but hammers and chisels, all while ensuring every pillar, every deity, every intricate relief emerged flawlessly from the living rock. The Kailasa temple alone, the crown jewel of Ellora, required the removal of 200,000 tons of stone, a monolithic structure twice the area of the Parthenon, yet carved with the delicacy of a jeweler. Step inside and the walls come alive with stories. Hindu gods like Shiva and Vishnu stand frozen in dynamic poses, their expressions so detailed you'd swear they might blink. Buddhist chaityas hum with serene energy, their stupas and prayer halls echoing with centuries of whispered mantras. Jain sanctuaries glow with intricate patterns, each swirl and lotus a testament to ascetic devotion. But look closer. Hidden among these carvings are clues to a deeper mystery. Some panels depict celestial beings holding objects resembling advanced tools, while others show figures in poses that mirror yoga poses not documented until centuries later. Were these caves merely places of worship, or could they have been repositories of esoteric knowledge, preserving techniques and philosophies ahead of their time? Then there are the passages no tourist ever sees. Secret tunnels snake beneath the main temples, some leading to unfinished chambers, others ending abruptly at submerged entrances sealed by rockfalls. One such tunnel, discovered behind the Kailasa temple, descends steeply before terminating at a wall covered in cryptic symbols. Archaeologists speculate these might be masons' marks or ritual diagrams, but local legends tell a different story. Whispers of a hidden vault containing scrolls from a lost civilization. Ground-penetrating radar has revealed hollow spaces behind several walls, but no one knows what, if anything, lies beyond. Even the acoustics hold secrets. Certain chambers amplify specific frequencies, creating echoes that linger unnaturally long, as if the rock itself remembers the chants that once filled these halls. In one Buddhist cave, the sound of a drumbeat resonates at a frequency said to induce meditative states, suggesting the builders understood sound's power to alter consciousness. Was this intentional, a form of ancient sound therapy woven into the stone? The Ellora caves defy simple explanation. They're not just temples, they're a crossroads of faiths, a timeline of shifting empires, and perhaps most intriguingly, a puzzle left by master artisans who encoded their wisdom in rock. Every chisel mark, every hidden corridor, every echoing chamber whispers the same tantalizing question: how much of their true purpose have we yet to uncover? Rising abruptly from the jungles of Sri Lanka, the Sigiriya rock fortress looms like something out of legend, a 200-meter-high monolith transformed into a royal citadel 1,500 years ago. But this isn't just a feat of ancient engineering. It's a canvas of mysteries where polished walls whisper forgotten stories and vibrant paintings defy time. One of the most astonishing features is the so-called mirror wall, once so finely polished that the king could see his reflection as he walked past. Over centuries, visitors etched thousands of inscriptions into its surface, leaving behind poems, observations, and even casual musings dating back to the 6th century. These graffiti-like markings aren't mere vandalism, they're a rare glimpse into the minds of pilgrims, travelers, and nobles who stood in awe of this place, their words preserving reactions that span over 1,000 years. Some verses praise the beauty of the rock's famous frescoes, while others ponder the fleeting nature of power, creating an unexpected dialogue across time. And then there are the frescoes themselves, the enigmatic cloud maidens painted in vivid hues of gold, red, and ochre. 21 of these lifelike figures remain, though historians believe there were once nearly 500, covering an entire gallery on the rock's western face. Who were these women? Some scholars argue they represent celestial beings or goddesses, their delicate hands holding flowers and their serene gazes fixed on some distant horizon. Others suggest they depict royal consorts or participants in sacred rituals, their identity lost to the centuries. The pigments used, ground minerals mixed with egg whites and beeswax, have clung stubbornly to the rock, surviving monsoons and searing heat. But the real puzzle is their incomplete state. Were the rest destroyed by time, or did the artists abandon their work when the fortress fell? Sigiriya's brief reign as a royal palace only deepens the intrigue. Built by King Cassiope in the 5th century, this soaring stronghold was both a display of power and a fortress of paranoia. After seizing the throne by allegedly entombing his father alive, Cassiope sought refuge atop the rock, surrounding himself with moats, gardens, and defensive walls. The ascent alone was a gauntlet. Visitors had to pass through the jaws of a colossal lion sculpture, whose massive paws remain today, and climb a vertigo-inducing staircase clinging to the cliffside. At the summit, the ruins of his palace reveal pools carved into the rock, pleasure gardens, and even an early form of plumbing. But Cassiopeia's reign ended as dramatically as it began. Defeated in battle, he died by his own sword, and Sigiriya was abandoned to monks and the elements. What lingers isn't just the physical grandeur, but the unanswered questions. Why did later scribes describe Sigiriya as inaccessible to even the gods? Was there ever a treasure hidden in its subterranean chambers, as local legends claim? And what became of the artists who painted those ethereal cloud maidens, their brushes capturing a beauty meant to outlast empires? The rock stands silent, its mirror wall now dulled by age, its frescoes fading. But the whispers of those who came before still echo in the wind, waiting for someone to piece together their stories. Buried beneath the modern streets of Selçuk, Turkey, lie the scattered ruins of the Temple of Artemis, once hailed as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, yet now so vanished that historians must piece together its grandeur from fragments. Unlike the pyramids or the Colossus of Rhodes, this marvel left almost no visible trace above ground. How could a temple so renowned, reportedly 4 times larger than the Parthenon, adorned with gold and marble statues, disappear so completely? The answer begins with its turbulent history, a cycle of destruction and rebirth that ultimately erased it from the landscape. The temple's first iteration rose in the 6th century BCE, a colossal structure supported by 127 60-foot columns, each gifted by a different king. Its centerpiece was a statue of Artemis, not as the graceful huntress known to Greek myth, but as a mother goddess draped in rows of eggs or bull's testicles, a symbol of fertility that hints at older, indigenous traditions woven into Greek worship. But in 356 BCE, on the very night Alexander the Great was born, a man named Herostratus set fire to the temple, seeking infamy. The scorched beams fell, yet the Ephesians saw divine irony in the timing. Artemis, they claimed, was too busy overseeing Alexander's birth to save her own house. Rebuilt even grander, the Second Temple became a beacon of commerce and spirituality, its steps thronged with pilgrims and merchants. Here's where the celestial clues emerge. Ancient texts describe a golden sphere mounted atop the roof, aligning with the constellation Orion during key festivals. Some scholars argue this wasn't mere decoration but part of an astronomical calendar, tracking celestial events to time sacred rites. The temple's westward orientation also caught the setting sun on Artemis feast day, bathing the inner sanctum in golden light, a theatrical effect blending science and spectacle. Yet the temple's final fate is shrouded in contradictions. Christian chroniclers claim it was razed by a mob led by Saint John Chrysostom in 401 CE, eager to purge pagan influence. But recent excavations suggest a slower decline, with columns toppled by earthquakes and marble plundered for nearby churches. The few surviving remnants, a single reconstructed column, scattered carvings in the local museum, feel like echoes of a dream. Even the site itself is elusive. The temple's foundations lie waterlogged beneath layers of silt, frustrating archaeologists. What lingers isn't just the puzzle of its disappearance, but the question of what secrets might still lurk beneath the swampy soil. Ground-penetrating radar has detected anomalies, potential chambers, or votive caches untouched for millennia. Could they hold the temple's famed gold-plated columns or the mysterious Artemisium scripts mentioned in ancient inventories? For now, the temple's legacy endures in whispers, in the alignment of modern streets that still follow its ancient grid, in the reverence locals pay to a single stork nesting atop that lone reconstructed column, as if nature itself remembers what we've forgotten. Standing sentinel at the entrance to Mycenae's ancient citadel, the Lion Gate has guarded its secrets for over 3,000 years. This massive limestone entryway, crowned with two lionesses carved in relief, is more than just an architectural marvel. It's a cryptic message from one of history's most enigmatic civilizations. The Mycenaeans, often overshadowed by their successors, the ancient Greeks, were a warrior culture steeped in myth and power. Their gate's imposing 10-ton lintel stone alone speaks to their engineering prowess, but it's the iconic lionesses that hold the deepest mystery. These beasts, standing upright with their front paws resting on a central altar, are missing their heads, likely once crafted from precious metals that were looted long ago. Were they meant to symbolize royalty, divine protection, or something far more primal? Beneath the gate's shadow lies an even darker enigma, the so-called Grave Circle A royal burial ground packed with gold death masks, weaponry, and treasures so opulent they inspired Heinrich Schliemann to declare he'd gazed upon the face of Agamemnon. Yet these shaft graves predate the Lion Gate by centuries, suggesting Mycenae's rulers deliberately incorporated them into the citadel's design during later expansions. Why, some scholars argue it was a political move, linking new dynasties to ancestral legitimacy. Others see spiritual significance, the gate's lions facing east toward the rising sun, as if guiding the dead toward rebirth. The gate's construction itself defies easy explanation. The Mycenaeans employed a technique called cyclopean masonry, fitting irregular boulders so precisely that not even a blade of grass could slip between them. Local lore claimed only the mythical Cyclopes could lift such stones, but the truth lies in ingenuity. Recent studies reveal the builders used ramps, levers, and a keen understanding of weight distribution. Yet the gate's true genius might be psychological. Approaching invaders would have had to crane their necks upward at the towering lions, a calculated display of intimidation. But the greatest secrets may still lie buried. Ground-penetrating radar has detected unexplored tunnels radiating from the citadel, some possibly linking to the fabled Tomb of Clytemnestra or other undiscovered chambers. One persistent legend speaks of a hidden armory stocked with bronze weapons, sealed behind a false wall. Whether myth or reality, these whispers remind us that Mycenae's story is far from fully told. The Lion Gate endures not just as a relic, but as a riddle, its silent guardians keeping watch over truths we've yet to uncover. Hidden deep within the cliffs of Maharashtra, The Ajanta caves are a time capsule of color and devotion. 30 rock-cut chambers adorned with paintings so vibrant they seem to defy the centuries. What's astonishing isn't just their beauty, but how these artworks survived over 2,000 years of monsoons, neglect, and obscurity. The secret lies in the artist's ingenuity. They mixed pigments with natural glue from cow dung and plant resins, then applied them to a carefully prepared plaster of lime, clay, and animal hair. This unusual recipe created a bond so strong that even today the colors glow with an almost ethereal luminosity. But these murals were never meant to be mere decoration. Every stroke tells a story. Scenes from the Jataka tales, depicting the Buddha's past lives as a selfless deer, a wise king, or a merchant braving storms to save his crew. The artists employed a clever trick of perspective, arranging figures so they'd appear three-dimensional when viewed by flickering lamp light during ancient rituals. In Cave 1, the famed Bodhisattva Padmapani seems to step forward from the wall, his eyes following you across the room, an early example of optical illusion used for spiritual impact. Monks would meditate here, surrounded by these visions, as if walking through a sacred comic book of enlightenment. The cave's disappearance from history is as dramatic as their artistry. Sometime after the 6th century, they were abandoned, swallowed by the jungle until 1819, when a British officer chasing a tiger stumbled upon them. The overgrowth that concealed them for a millennium also preserved them, shielding the paintings from sunlight and human hands. Early explorers described finding frescoes with gold leaf still gleaming, though much was lost to amateur excavations and candle smoke. Yet the greatest mystery might be the cave's unfinished chambers. Rough-hewn walls in Cave 24 suggest work was abruptly halted. Was it a funding crisis, a royal succession, or something more ominous? Some researchers point to climate records showing prolonged droughts around the time. Could famine have scattered the artisans? Others speculate doctrinal shifts in Buddhism made the site obsolete. Today, the caves whisper conflicting truths. Their paintings celebrate impermanence, yet they've endured longer than the empires that commissioned them. They were created in isolation, yet now draw pilgrims from every corner of the globe. And perhaps that's their final secret. Art, like faith, finds a way to outlast even the darkest voids of time. In the heart of Lebanon's Bekaa Valley, the Temple of Baalbek stands as a monument to the impossible, its foundation stones so colossal. They've sparked debates about lost civilizations, ancient giants, and technologies we can't comprehend. The most staggering of these are the trilithon stones, 3 blocks each weighing over 800 tons, fitted together with such precision that not even a razor blade can slide between them. To put that in perspective, that's heavier than 3 fully loaded Boeing 747 jets lifted and positioned with no cranes, no pulleys, just sheer ingenuity. How did a civilization without modern machinery achieve this? The Romans, who later built their own temples atop the site, credited it to the god Jupiter. But the truth might be even more intriguing. Beneath the Roman grandeur lies an older mystery. The temple's massive podium where these megaliths rest predates Roman rule by millennia. Some scholars link it to the Phoenicians, while others suggest it was sacred to the Canaanite god Baal, its original name Baalbek, hinting at this ancient connection. But here's where it gets wild. Local legends speak of a race of giants, the Nephilim, who supposedly built the site under divine command. While mainstream archaeology dismisses this, the sheer scale of the stones forces us to wonder, did these builders possess knowledge we've since forgotten? Experiments using modern equipment show that moving even one of these blocks would require the coordinated effort of thousands. Yet there's no evidence of such a workforce in the archaeological record. The Romans, ever the opportunists, repurposed the site into a grand complex for Jupiter, adding columns that stretched 100 feet skyward. Yet even they seemed in awe of what they'd inherited. Carvings on the stones show intricate astronomical alignments. suggesting the original builders tracked solstices and equinoxes with startling accuracy. Some researchers propose the entire platform was a giant energy conductor, its granite blocks vibrating at specific frequencies for ceremonial or even technological purposes. Then there's the tantalizing clue of the Stone of the Pregnant Woman, an even larger megalith nearby, weighing nearly 1,000 tons left abandoned in a quarry. Was it meant for Baalbek, and why was it never moved? The chisel marks on its surface suggest work was abruptly halted, as if some catastrophe forced the builders to flee. Today, Baalbek's enigma endures, whether it's the handiwork of forgotten engineers, a sacred site imbued with celestial power, or something beyond our current understanding. One thing is clear: this isn't just a temple. It's a challenge, a puzzle carved in stone, daring us to reconsider what ancient civilizations were truly capable of. And until we uncover the tools or texts that explain its creation, Baalbek will keep its secrets locked in those impossible, immovable blocks. Across the Mississippi River from modern-day St. Louis, the Cahokia Mounds rise from the Illinois plains, a sprawling complex of earthen pyramids that once formed the heart of North America's largest pre-Columbian city. At its peak around 1100 CE, this metropolis boasted a population rivaling London's at the time, with over 120 meticulously shaped mounds covering 6 square miles. But the most intriguing feature isn't the mounds themselves. It's what archaeologists call woodhenge, a circle of towering wooden posts aligned with the solstices and equinoxes like its namesake in England. This celestial calendar, rebuilt several times with ever larger posts, suggests Cahokia's builders possessed an advanced understanding of astronomy. During the summer solstice, sunrise would perfectly frame the city's grandest mound, Monk's Mound, from the center of the circle, a spectacle that may have drawn thousands for rituals we can only imagine. The scale of Monk's Mound alone defies expectations. Larger at its base than the Great Pyramid of Giza, this 10-story earthen structure was built without wheels, metal tools, or domesticated animals, just baskets of soil carried one load at a time. Its flat top likely held a temple or chief's residence, overlooking a central plaza where games, markets, and ceremonies unfolded. Yet for all its grandeur, Cahokia's decline was as rapid as its rise. By the 1400s, the city was abandoned, its mounds left to the elements. Unlike other lost civilizations, there's no evidence of invasion or catastrophe. Instead, tree ring data reveals a chilling clue: a prolonged drought around 1350 that would have devastated the maize-based economy. But drought alone doesn't explain why survivors didn't return when rains resumed. Some archaeologists point to social unrest. Traces of palisades suggest rising tensions, while others theorize religious shifts made the site taboo. Then there's the mystery of the builder's identity. Unlike the Maya or Inca, the Mississippians left no written records. Modern tribes like the Osage and Quapaw claim ancestral ties, but the cultural threads were severed long ago. Recent discoveries add complexity. A cache of finely crafted arrowheads buried beneath Mound 72, arranged in patterns mimicking celestial constellations. Nearby, the remains of 53 young women, possibly ritual sacrifices, show signs of malnutrition, hinting at desperate times. Were these offerings to appease the gods during environmental collapse? Today, Cahokia's silence speaks volumes. Unlike stone monuments, earthen mounds erode over time, swallowing secrets with every rainfall. Woodhenge's posts have rotted away, leaving only ghostly stains in the soil. Yet those stains tell a story of a people who tracked the heavens, moved mountains of earth, and then vanished, leaving behind only whispers in the wind and a question: what other chapters of America's ancient past have we yet to uncover? From the towering pyramids of Egypt to the hidden labyrinths of Cappadocia, one thread connects these ancient marvels: the staggering gap between what we know and what remains tantalizingly out of reach. These monuments weren't just built, they were encoded with secrets, their stones whispering of knowledge we've yet to fully decipher. Think about it. Civilizations without modern tools calculated celestial alignments with pinpoint accuracy, moved multi-ton blocks like chess pieces, and engineered systems so advanced they still baffle us today. Was this sheer human ingenuity, or could there be lost techniques, or even forgotten wisdom buried beneath the sands of time? Take the precision of the Great Pyramid's alignment or the acoustic mastery of Chichen Itza. How did ancient cultures achieve such feats without blueprints or computers? Some argue these were trial and error accomplishments, the work of generations honing their craft. Others believe these sites hold traces of a deeper, perhaps even global, ancient science, fragments of which survived in oral traditions or cryptic symbols. And then there are the gaps in the historical record, entire cities like Mohenjo-daro vanishing without explanation, or the sudden abandonment of thriving centers like Cahokia. Were these collapses due to climate, war, or something more mysterious? What's undeniable is that these sites challenge our assumptions. The more we study them, the more questions they provoke. Maybe that's the point, not just to impress us, but to remind us that history isn't a closed book. It's a living puzzle, one that invites us to keep digging, keep questioning. So what do you think? Were these monuments purely practical, or do they guard deeper truths? Have you visited any of these places and felt that uncanny connection to the past? Drop your theories below. We're all detectives in this grand mystery, and if you're hungry for more enigmas, stay tuned. From sunken cities to cryptic manuscripts, there's no shortage of historical riddles waiting to be unraveled. The past isn't done surprising us yet. Until next time, keep looking closer, because sometimes the most extraordinary secrets are hidden in plain sight.